Impact, it facilitates. It just facilitates just say a bunch of weird things about it. Like one of my ideas was we can just make like a bunch of 1-minute commercials that are really funny, but they still deal with.
Everybody's different in some way, but we're also unified through our differences because we're a collective whole. We're a collective whole, and we're stronger because our differences make us stronger.
Impact is important in raising issues that most people don't really consider most of the time, and it allows people to look at like everyday things a lot more differently than they would have before, with issues of social justice and poverty, race, gender. We've given presentations in here on like the glass ceiling and things like that, where we can truly see how, despite the fact that many people think that prejudice is gone, it's still very much alive. And I think that we open people's eyes to that.
Just try to go in as students, having learned a little bit about it, not so much to teach the people in a facilitation, but to just open their eyes so that they can start to grow and develop an understanding.
Impact is probably responsible for inciting the spark in people, try to get them to start, to get them to think differently, to grow beyond, and then lead us, takes the people who have that spark into keep it running, nurture it, and eventually turn them into management, into the leaders, while we're still continually working with the people to get them to think differently and to expand.
The facilitations, I think, they're issues that teachers want us to learn about, but they're not issues that they're willing to poke and prod us at. And us going in and our group discussions help us go into classrooms and poke and prod other students and our peers to think about these issues. And
it's difficult because not only do you have to talk about like your feelings with other people with the subjects that we address, but you have to do a lot of self-reflection, and a lot of times there are things that you don't necessarily want to address about yourself. So there's a lot of self-evaluation and self-reflection that goes on with, it kind of comes with the territory.
This is why we do what we do.
Leslie, how do you feel the diversity at Rollins looks like?
Yeah, but diversity at Rollins is all right. It's sort of like salt and pepper. Like you have little drops of pepper. In fact, you can count the number of black people at the campus, or minorities, which is sort of sad, but I mean, I guess they're trying their best. I guess it's just a reality, and until change comes.
Do you believe that the white population at Rollins College is aware of their white privilege, or if they view this as a problem?
I think we take that a little bit for granted sometimes. I think there's probably both sides of the spectrum pretty well represented. I'm not sure that if I personally, I realize how much harder it might be for people of other races, but I think though that at times Rollins does a pretty good job of educating us, and that we can see that from people of different cultures here, but in general I think it's something we probably take for granted.
A student can tell you who goes here, there's not much diversity at all. I think it's somewhat of a sad thing, but it's not surprising given just the atmosphere of the school. Anybody who goes here can relate. It's not right, but for right now that's what it is, and hopefully it'll change sometime soon.
Impact is this fearless group of student leaders who go into the classroom and really challenge their peers on some very difficult issues. Some issues that even we as educators don't necessarily approach. And I think what's so beautiful about what Impact does is they're able to talk on a peer-to-peer level with students, which makes it that much more exciting.
The Impact students are so motivated to take those risks, to understand a little bit more about themselves, a little deeper. They've really given some deep thought into who they are as human beings and as citizens of the Rollins community and their own personal lives. And I think that's phenomenal. I think we should have all of our students doing that all the time, but at least we're starting with Impact.
What do you think about Impact?
I like Impact. Impact's good. I think peer education's the way to go.